Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and in this video I'm going to be doing a really quick talk about the Arcade Expo that was at the Excel this week. So yes, the Arcade Expo, or EAG, which stands for Entertainment, Attractions and Gaming Expo. I've loaded the website so I can get that correct. It's an expo that takes place in the Excel. I believe it happens every year and has been happening for a number of years. And it's essentially more of a corporate event rather than a kind of public event. But super easy to go if you did fancy going. You just sign up that you're representing a business and away you go. You're now talking to the CEO and founder of the Hobby Lodge Arcade, and therefore I was able to attend the event as a businessman of a well-respected Hobby Lodge Arcade. But yeah, I went there with my friend Alex of Ours Arcade, or formerly known as Arcade Archive and Nintendo Arcade. Alex is someone who's super passionate about all things arcade, and he was someone I could go along with and also learn a lot from what goes on in these spaces. So look, I'm not going to go on too much about it because I've got a whole load of footage I'm going to put on it so you can see what's going on at the event. But I thought it might be nice just to give you my thoughts on what the event was like. So first of all, very different to a public event. Obviously, lots more business-like type individuals, people that own casinos, arcades, pubs and clubs, seaside amusements, those sorts of things. They're there to see what the latest and greatest amusements are, to put into their locations, to hopefully make money out. So you're hearing a lot of business talk when you're there. Lots of people concerned about ROI on their investments. So yeah, that sort of stuff is going on. But ultimately, you're seeing all of the machines that they're going to potentially be purchasing, and of course they're all on free play. They're all in their full regalia, that's the word, and being shown to the people there. So a great time to walk around, see what's coming out from these businesses, and hopefully have a bit of a play on their games. Almost zero queuing for anything. You could pretty much pick up and play, or stand in front of a cab, pinball machine, a ticket grabbing machine. You didn't get the tickets and the prizes, but you got the idea of what it was like when you won on these such things. Coin pushers, pinball, the whole 9 yards, gambling tables, poker tables, all sorts. And there was loads of that going on, so definitely worth walking around to see what's coming. Ultimately, what's going to be in those amusements and arcades and pubs, clubs, and casinos in the future. So that was really very cool. Yeah, met up with Alex. He was there, and a few of his friends. So again, nice to be able to walk around with some people, have a bit of banter, play a few games together. But I think what I eventually came to the conclusion of is that arcades are never going to be what we remember them being. You know, being full of actual video games and stuff. Even today, I found that yeah, there are some arcade games out there, but they're very simplistic in maybe their design, and sort of the graphics behind them and things like that. Like, there's nothing that you couldn't just run on a home computer, such as a PS5 or a PC or a Switch or whatever it might be. What I found is they focused on the peripherals, the actual thing you're holding in your hand. And lots of times these were tech guns, really, and I've seen a lot of the upgrades they've done to these now. So they've gone away from your plastic orange or plastic yellow gun, maybe with a recoil action like in your old Time Crisis, and now they're like full metal devices with full recoil in both the muzzle and in the butt of the gun. They have red dot scopes on them and things like that. So getting really realistic. So the thing you feel like you're holding almost feels like a real gun, and fires pretty impressively well. So and there was other things like darts games, you know, digitizing darts. I know we've seen things like this at like flight clubs, but then taking those to the next level: axe throwing, bowling, golf, driving games. They're all just trying to push up the realism, so that the thing you're holding, the thing you're sitting in, the thing you're interacting with is a lot more real, whilst the game you're potentially playing is still that kind of, you know, current generation of machine. I saw nothing that was gonna blow me away. And then I guess to sort of summarize, the one thing I think that people really gravitated towards was the pinball. The pinball area was always busy, was always interesting. There was two main sections, electrical and I can't think what the other one was called, and they were showing off some of their latest games. The ones that were grabbing everyone's attention was, of course, there was a brand new Dungeons and Dragons pinball table out, which looked super interesting. Had a little play of it, not get too much time, but it's trying to move more that pinball into actually playing a game. So whilst yes, the mechanics is a pinball table, underneath that pinball table is a fully fledged dungeon delving game, where you're navigating your way, making choices, leveling your character, and it feels like quite incredible that you can do that with a pinball table. But that's exactly what's going on in that game. But also games like Labyrinth, fantastic looking table. There was a James Bond, Live and Let Die, fantastic table. Pulp Fiction, a Venom, and just the list goes on. There were some dodgy ones as well. There was a Blues Brothers one that was maybe not. It just looked a bit knockoff, but it was fine. But it wasn't a great table. But I think my conclusion was that whilst we're able to get a lot of the sort of systems we use at home, that feel of a real pinball table still draws people towards them, and they still want to play them. They still want to have the tactileness. They still want to hear the sounds, feel the sounds, be engaged with what's in front of them. I don't even think digital pinball tables do that. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have a sort of Tarte screen pinball table set up in here, and it's just not the same. You know, it definitely isn't the same. It does for, you know, a little bit of play, but I can see those people that are really enthusiasts wanting to go and play real tables for that. So yeah, lots of that going on. But otherwise, yeah, I'll let the content play. I'll put some music on, go and watch the little bits of video I took and the few pictures I took. I'll put it on there, see it through, and you'll see a bit of a gist of it. If you're watching this right now, which is the 15th of January, I believe it's still on for another 2 days. So you could go over there if you wanted to. Like I say, it's free to go. Just register yourself. No checks are made. You can make up your business and say where you work from. Go along, have a look and see what you can do. Certainly no swag to speak about, I'm afraid. There was nothing for sale there unless you wanted to buy a £21,000 VR zombie shooting game. But there's certainly loads to look at and loads to have a play on. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so hopefully enjoy some of the footage I took, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, cheers all. Bye bye.